Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Now, over the last year, we have seen both the upsides and the downsides of humanity's technological prowess. We are in now the 21st century and the third decade of that century. And when humanity was confronted with the biggest single concerted challenge that it has ever encountered, it deployed against it its most powerful technology and the complete width of its capabilities. Now, that capability was deployed in a lot of various threads. There was one particular thread that was meant to keep people engaged as they went into lockdown. A lot of entertainment was consumed in 2020 and continues to be so in 2021. And there are very many modes for this. Now, something that has been inseparable from computing ever since it came about has been gaming. And as you can imagine, there were a lot of games that people played and a lot of games that went viral, a lot of existing games that grew manifold during this time. People kept themselves busy in various ways. And amid all this, there is a company in India that is truly democratizing games as we know them. You no longer need a large PC, you no longer need a graphics card. All you need is a phone, and you sometimes don't even need to know English, and that's what Winzo is all about. Winzo is a pioneer in vernacular gaming in India. It deals in a part of gaming called social gaming, where you have a lot of people playing interconnectedly. And also, it has introduced a very thriving cash element in its game. We are joined today by Winzo's co-founder and CEO, Pawan Nanda. Pawan, thank you so much for joining us. And I think what our audience would most like to know from you to begin with is what are the kind of games that you provide? Tell us a lot, as much as you can, about Winzo and the services that it offers to people around India.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ankit, for having me here. It's my thorough pleasure to be a part of your panel. Like you mentioned, Winzo is a gaming platform. It's a social gaming platform. And for the ease of understanding, just imagine a single app, which is Winzo's mobile app. Users download that and they can play more than 70 plus games across different formats. Each of these games are real-time multiplayer games. And just to give you an example, there are games like Candy Crush, Carom, 8-Ball Pool, all kinds of casual games that you can possibly imagine, bubble shooter. There are some mid-core games as well, let's say like Call of Duty, Free Fire. And then, of course, we have some of the other traditional games as well, like Fantasy is there, Rummy Poker as well is there. But yeah, by and large, the idea is to create a very, very enriched platform which can become a go-to mobile app for all kinds of gaming requirements. So like you all know, right? Each of us have 4 or 5 different games in their devices. Instead of that, and then you keep on installing and installing, trying out different games. Instead of that, the idea was to build a single platform, a single app that can have all kinds of games one can possibly imagine. And when you play each of these games, for example, you and I, or somebody logs in and plays a game of Carom, they can put an entry fee. The entry fee is very, very small. What we deal with is microtransactions. So let's say I put 5 rupees, an opponent comes from the other side, he also puts 5 rupees, and then the winner gets 9 rupees. And 1 rupee is basically the platform commission, which goes to the developer. I think net, it's a very, very cost-effective, microtransaction-led way to entertain, to sort of spend time. And of course, over last 1.5 years, and since COVID, we have seen a tremendous amount of customer love, customer support, customer attention towards us. So yeah, that's what basically Winzo is. I would also like to tell you that we are on the forefront. We are championing the entire Aatmanirbharta initiative because of several reasons. First one being that these games that are there on the platform, we don't make these games in-house, but we support third-party game developers based out of India. These can be even college students who are still in college and they have a gaming idea. Winzo goes ahead and supports them, gives them all kinds of funding that's needed to get their games on Winzo's platform. To distribute our product as well, we do not spend money on Facebook and Google to market ourselves or advertise ourselves. We go ahead and actually partner with YouTubers, with third-party influencers, with young generation youth who's interested in generating content on Instagram, on YouTube, on Telegram. And we actually go ahead and create an employment generation opportunity for them to promote our product. So instead of giving money to a Facebook or a Google, we actually generate a lot of employment on that front. And thirdly, we also have a very, very strong vernacular element. This product is for the Bharat, right? So the product is available in 12 different languages. And for us to maintain support in 12 different languages, we actually partner with housewives, with retired government servants who help us in translation, who help us in providing a truly vernacular experience. So it's I think, there are several elements or sections of the society that come together on Winzo to deliver a delightful experience for our customers, which again are India only and India focused.
Right. Thank you, Pawan, for telling us all this. A lot of very interesting things Pawan has told us about Winzo. I think what's most important in any entertainment and content providing company or service is the content itself. So I think Winzo is only as good as its games. And what Pawan says is that Winzo doesn't develop its games in-house, but it serves as a platform for a lot of third-party developers. I presume, Pawan, you have a lot of strict criteria for these publishers. You closely monitor the game development process, the kind of offering, so you make sure that it is of a quality and of various other legal requirements that you may have for all kinds of games. How do you go about this? And of course, please tell us more about your initiatives to grow an ecosystem and to have a lot of youth and young people develop their own games to code themselves and sort of put them on your platform. Why don't you tell us a little bit more?
So like you said, Ankit, we are very, very customer focused, customer obsessed. And that's why we ensure that each and every game that comes on Windows platform is thoroughly curated, thoroughly audited. It should be top quality content. Of course, each and every game is pure game of skill. So, players can actually improve upon their skills and demonstrate it very, very clearly. That's something that's there. And yeah, I think over the last 2.5 years, we have been actually developing the overall gaming ecosystem in multiple ways. First being, we have this active fund called Winzo Game Developer Fund. We announced $2 million in 2019, and then last year we announced $5 million. What we do with this fund is we go ahead and basically invest in gaming ideas. Anybody who wants to build games or even things around games, let's say somebody wants to do streaming, somebody wants to create, let's say, an in-app purchase section, somebody wants to do something to prevent hacking. We actually go ahead and fund all those projects. Alongside that, there is also a Winzo Scholarship that we offer to people who are our top players. So players who demonstrate really well in mobile gaming, we offer them Winzo Scholarship so that they can improve their mobile gaming skills further and eventually represent India in all these competitive esports at a world level, those kind of platforms. The third thing we do is we have a product called Winzo Game Developer Console, which basically helps you integrate your game with Winzo in a smooth, flawless manner. And there are a lot of resources there for the game developers there. So yeah,
okay.
I think there are a bunch of things that we do.
Right. So clearly you are intending to offer your audiences as wide variety of games as you can possibly have, and also to encourage people to make their games in invariably making use of India's vast prowess at information technology and coding, and the number of engineers we have that come out of college on a yearly basis and who are probably the primary players of your games as well. So that's a great model, Pawan. My next question to you would be about your cash model and your interfacing with your consumers. What are the various touch points on which you have cash transactions going on Winzo games? And the other thing is, where can people find Winzo games? What do I do if I whip out my phone right now and I want to play a Winzo game? How easy is it? Can you just walk us through that?
Oh, I think it's terribly easy. Winzo is a very unique name. All you have to do is just Google Winzo and you will be directed to winzogames.com's website. So Winzo is WINZO, that's the spelling. Winzogames.com is our website. You go ahead and download our APK from there. If you are an iPhone user, you have to just go on the App Store, iOS Store, and you just have to search Winzo there and you will get the app. Once you download the app, you will also have some sign-up bonus, some coupons, with which you can go ahead and enjoy different games to get a hang of it. And then if you really like to continue to play, you can top up with some micro payments. Let's say you can add 20 rupees in your wallet, and then you can go about playing games. Most of the games, the entry fee is only 2 to 3 rupees. So it's really, really small micro transactions. Let's say there is a 1 hour tournament in which there is a game of cricket. I pay an entry fee of 5 rupees. And if whoever scores the maximum out of 10,000 people competing in that tournament, whoever scores the maximum will, let's say, get 100 rupees. So this is how, different formats work. Something is a tournament, then there's a versus mode format. There can be team battles also where two teams competing against each other can actually can decide who's better at what game. We also have Winzo TV, where you can actually watch gaming related videos. You can learn more about gaming through your favorite influencers. We have Winzo Store, through which you can buy in-app purchases. For example, somebody has to buy Free Fire's diamonds. Those diamonds are actually available at a discount from Winzo Store. It's cheaper than Google. Yes, I think there are several. It's a fairly exciting app, by the way. People
Right.
usually spend 1 hour every day, almost every day of the month, and they still can't get over it, right? So that's
Right.
that.
Well, that's a lot of different options for people to have. I want to know a little bit more about your story. I think Winzo was founded in about 2016, if I'm not mistaken. You yourself have a history in startups in the hospitality sector, if I'm not mistaken. How did you come to found Winzo, and what are the top-selling games that you have? I believe Rummy is one of them. I believe Fantasy Sports is another line of games that you have. So why don't you just tell us a little bit more about the ethos and the history of Winzo and your sort of hallmark offerings?
Sure. So basically, we started in late 2017. Actually, it was not 2016. It was end of 2017. So we are about three years old now. And I'm not a first-time entrepreneur. Before this, I was a founder of Zostel and Zorooms. Zostel, as we know today, it is Asia's largest chain of backpacker hostels. It's a fantastic product. It's a youth accommodation facility, so available in 52 cities across India and Southeast Asia. Before that, by the way, I'm the only entrepreneur across my family. I'm a first-time entrepreneur. Both my parents are otherwise government servants. I did my engineering from NSIT Delhi, then pursued my MBA from IIM Calcutta, and then I went about starting these two startups. Talking a little bit about my portfolio of games on Winzo, right? So, of course, we have Rummy, Fantasy, and all these games. But I think what really differentiates Winzo from anybody else is the bouquet of 70 plus games that we have, right? We don't have, we are not only Rummy or only Fantasy. We have 70 plus games, and each of these games are enjoyed a lot. None of these games are something that will contribute a lot to our revenue. Most of these games have a very massive captive audience. We have, let's say, a game like Carrom. A multiplayer Carrom is something that's enjoyed a lot. We have an 8-ball pool, multiplayer 8-ball pool, which is again enjoyed a lot. There is a very simple to play game called by the name of Snake Rush. I think we have more than 2 lakh people playing that game, on a daily basis. So I think each game has it, and favorites keep on changing. I have something as my personal favorite. My co-founder, Soumya, her favorite game is, for example, a bubble shooter. So yeah, that keeps on changing. I also want to probably share the scale of Winzo, right? So currently we have 4 crore people playing Winzo. We have about 40 million registered users. And the idea is to touch at least 25 crore users over next 2 years. And given the kind of love and affection that we've been receiving from our users, hopefully we'll be able to reach that target sooner than later.
Right. 4 crore is a very large number. I think best of luck to you on your aspirations to take it forward. I want to talk a little bit more about your future plans in just a bit. But before that, I would like to ask you, over this last year, we've been under lockdown. How has it been for you? Also, there have been changes made perhaps on the policy front. A lot of Chinese competitors were taken out of the market. For instance, the Indian government is actively promoting games. They're talking about toys and games in a big way. They want an ecosystem to develop here as well. How has it been? What kind of traction have you picked up? You've also, if I'm not mistaken, picked up a fairly massive round of funding, $18 million of a Series B round of funding, if I'm not mistaken, all during lockdown. So it tells me that your last 12 months have been quite hectic. Pawan, let's hear more from you on that.
let's just say we have grown 15 times in last 12 months. So just to give you an idea, of course, lockdown has been a massive boost to us. What earlier used to be our prime time was 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. But during lockdown, it was from 10 a.m. onwards. People used to just launch our app and stick around for the whole day. So people had more time and they wanted more avenues to entertain. And then Winzo is a very, very strong avenue for entertainment. It's an amazing product. If you will try it out, you will understand for yourself, right? And yeah, I think policy-wise, it's been very supportive. The uh, I think some of these Chinese apps had. So let me put it this way, right? Some of these Chinese apps, let's say TikTok or even PUBG, they acquired a lot of time share, or they had captured a lot of time share of our users. And now once they got banned, users still have that kind of time, and now they want to spend this kind of a time trying out different products. And this was a very good opportunity for Indian content, gaming, video OTT platform kind of apps to go ahead and capture that kind of attention, which is available now. And it, of course, significantly benefited us as well. As far as funding goes, of course, when the business is growing well, when users are loving it, when the numbers are through the roof, you get investment opportunities or investment offers as well, right? And we are very, very happy to get the kind of partners we needed. We raised $18 million from some of the best global gaming investors like Makers Fund, Courtside Ventures. These are the people who have invested for the first time in India, and otherwise they are big names in the world, right? So we're very happy to close that round with them.
Right. So how do you see your future going about? Where do you intend to deploy? It's also so interesting that you have an ecosystem, and whatever funds you raise, you also end up spending part of it, spreading it around to perhaps other people who have the same vision as yours and are looking for a platform on which maybe they can pool their resources together. So what is the future for Winzo? Will you also expand into other domains such as streaming? You spoke about some other options earlier that made it sound more like you're talking about platforms than gaming. So where does it go from here?
So first and foremost, we want to reach each and every household in India over next 2 years. That's the plan. So from 4 crore, you need to go to 25 crore, 30 crore people at least. And that would require some kind of investment. The second piece of investment will go into acquiring best gaming content. Some of this content will be available outside India, and you will get them to launch them in India along with Vinzo. The other bit is, like I mentioned, will be investing into Indian projects, Indian game makers, game designers, and some of them can be studios, or them can be college folks, giving them scholarships. I think that is again something, and these things will require expenditure. And third thing is going to be, by and large, creating a good brand. Right? We want to be known for a very, very I would say, for a very relevant entertainment related brand. We want to be the go-to gaming brand, rather. Something that the moment anybody thinks about gaming, people should think about Winzo. The way probably Amazon is known for shopping, WhatsApp is known for messaging. The same way we want to be known for gaming. And I'm sure some of our funds will be deployed towards that as well.
Right. Thank you, Pawan, for speaking to us on all of these things. I think what Pawan Nanda has told us and what Winzo is currently doing is going a long way towards putting services and putting options in people's hands who did not have them a very long time back. Whether you talk about the kind of games that they're offering, a lot of the names he's mentioned, Carom, Rummy, cricket, bubble shoot, these all sound very simple. They sound like vibrant, fun games. I can imagine they're very colorful. They're easy for people to adopt. They're also available in various languages so that there is no inhibitor. No one has to be intimidated before downloading one of these. So I think that is perhaps one of the areas where this kind of service is extremely beautiful and extremely helpful in this road towards becoming Aatmanirbhar in all kinds of domains. We no longer have to depend on foreign companies based in Cupertino and based in China, for instance, for our games. Our developers are among us, and our platforms are already up there on the cloud. So thank you so much, Pawan Nanda from Winzo, for speaking to us. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you so much, audience. We'll be back on Road to Aatmanirbharta.
Thank you again. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.